I'm going to be rebuilding Ferrari in F125 as Ferrari's current season has been one of their worst in recent times, and with it now approaching almost 20 years since they last won a championship, I thought why not take on the task and try win the drivers and constructors championships within 3 seasons. And here we are for round 1, season 1 at Australia. But we're going to jump straight into our first qualifying. We're going to be staying with Charles Leclerc throughout this whole career mode. So here we go, we start our first lap. Too wide there. No. And we lost the back end once again. Where can we put it? P3. Here we go for our final run. Let's try to at least get it on the second row. Almost 4 attempts up. Oh no. We've cut the corner. I think that is the worst qualifying I've ever done. We're 1.5 seconds off Piastri. Right, so here we go. We're lining up on the mediums. I feel like that's the better tyre if it's going to rain anytime soon. And it's lights out. And away we go. Not a great start. We're getting overtaken by Ocon. Come on, let's dive bomb these two. It's going to be real tight. Let's try not to get damage. We just about scared through that. I don't know what's happening to Berman. He seems a little bit too slow here.
I don't think you have any idea.
There we go, we're in the points, we're in P10. There we go, Hamilton, Russell side by side. Russell goes round the outside of him there. There we go, the rain's coming and Hamilton's going after George. Whoa, Hadjar spinning it. He's lost the back end. Can we get a few positions? There we go, managed to get it stopped. I'm going to pit, I'm going to risk it, I'm going to pit. The conditions on track just seemed way too bad for slicks. There we go, DRS disabled. Oh god. I think we're going to gain a few positions here. There we go. We get Alonso. Amazing so far. As we just hit the wall. Here we go. This is a great opportunity on Albon.
To actually digest.
Nah, it's a bit too late. This is it. Albon's going defensive. We go around the outside. Onto the curb. Lovely move. And we're up into P3, the podium positions. And there we go. That is P3 in our first race. After our great recovery drive at Australia, Ferrari had further success in the season with both Leclerc and Hamilton gathering wins at Canada and Austria earlier in the season. The car was also developing well and was super close at the top, but because of this early success, we were actually leading the constructors. Unfortunately, Max was dominating in the drivers. It did, however, look good in winning at least one of the championships for this season. But as the season went on and a regulation change for next season and a bit of a slump in the mid part, but a fantastic Texas and Mexico Grand Prix meant coming into the final race we were just leading McLaren in the constructors, with Leclerc and Piastri tied on 22 points behind Max. Can we win one or both of the championships coming into the final race? Now Oscar Piastri has set his lap and we are 4 tenths behind him. Right, we're going to have to put in a mighty lap now because Max is currently in second. He's done his final run. This is it, the final run at the final race. We're not really improving all that much, which isn't great. Across the line, I don't think it's an improvement. And there we have it. We're starting P3. Lewis is in P6. Here we go. 5 red lights for the start of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, the final race of the season. Going through turn 1, we've got a bit of a sandwich from Lando. Piastri and Max have both come together there.
Green, what's your problem, Green?
This is it. We've got the momentum on Max. Super close. Oh, squeezes to the left. We just about make it stick. Okay, Max is closing.
Let me smell your breath.
There he goes. Gonna brake super late. Try not to crash into the back of Oscar. Norris and Max both battling there. And there we go. Norris does have third. This championship is just falling away from us. There we go. Boxing this lap. Come on, boys. Let's hope for a quick stop. Let's get in front of McLaren. There we go. And we just managed to get out in front of Piastri. We've got a massive run on Lawson. There we go. We've got Lawson. We'll go around the outside of Doohan as well. Perfect move whilst Piastri is stuck behind both of them. Right, Lando's got P2. I don't know what his pace is going to be like. The final lap of the race, Lando is breathing down our necks. There he goes.
Tough time never lasts.
Try getting to the slipstream. We're basically running out of ERS. We've got nothing left. Bit of ERS. It's going to be really close. Can we do out into the final corner? It's come across the line. We're going to lose the constructors in the final lap.
Another year of Formula One draws to a close and a new World Drivers' Champion is declared.
And there we have it. We of course lost the drivers to Max Verstappen by 14 points in the end. But no, we actually won. the constructors. I thought we lost the constructors. We've actually won the constructors by 1 point. And that was season 1 done, and a great success already in winning the constructors just over McLaren. We just need to win the drivers to fully accomplish our goal of bringing Ferrari back. However, the twist for season 2, we will be using the high inflation scenario, which will make the parts more expensive the more we develop. And as we come into season 2, we had some pretty big driver moves of Max retiring from Formula 1, which meant of course Hadjar took his spot at Red Bull, with Colapinto replacing him at RB. The car did unfortunately lose some ground in development after the new regulations. However, with this new scenario, I don't really know what to expect, so hopefully we can have a mix up in the order later into the season. But let's go to round 1 at Australia. The car didn't actually feel too bad in practice, but let's hope for our first lap we can put in a mighty lap. Okay, that was a nice clean and tidy lap. Wasn't the fastest, but it was decent. And there we go, we'll put it on provisional pole. So everyone else has done their lap now, and we can see we are in P2. We're about 100th ahead of Hamilton, so it's super close at the top. Yuki Tsunoda is just putting a mighty lap out of nowhere. Alright, round 2, here we go. Pretty good lap so far, we're almost 4 tenths up. But is this enough to get pole? And no, it's not. Yuki Tsunoda has somehow improved once again. He must have done 3 laps out of there. Here we go, round 1, season 2 out of Australia. The lights out went pretty quickly there.
Let me smell your breath!
Hamilton tried to go around the outside there, a bit cheeky. That is very wide. Looks like Hamilton's getting squabbled by Norris behind him. But I think we are in DRS range of UK. Come on. Come on, we're all over the back of UK. Norris has got Hamilton. Can we outbrake him here? It's going to be very late. It's going to squeeze us to the apex. Just pushed us out there. Great straight line speed. Can we go around the outside into this fast left and right hander? Yes, we can. And we take a hold of P1 already. Now Lando's trying to get UK. Norris has got UK. But there we go. That threat from Norris wasn't much in the end. But we are going to cross the line for the first race and first win of the season. As the first half of the season went on, but a car not really having great pace, and the new scenario actually being more realistic with slowing overall development for all teams, which was good, but we were really consistent, and the same for Hamilton, having some really good podium results. After Silverstone, we actually were leading the drivers and constructors championships, but we're starting to come under some serious pressure from the McLarens behind, and Piastri leading their team. But after the halfway point, we had a retirement at Hungary due to a lap 1 collision, just getting caught on the rear of the car trying to go 3 wide. Fortunately, we managed to get our first win, and at the home of Ferrari, in some crazy scenes there, with also Hamilton claiming a podium. The team was still in front with the constructors as well as Leclerc in the drivers, but the final 2 races leading up to Abu Dhabi weren't great on our side, with some pretty mid results, but Hamilton had a bit of a comeback, claiming 2 second place finishes, which coming into the final race weekend, Leclerc was just leading the drivers championship by 2 points to Lewis and 4 to Piastri, and a comfortable lead in the constructors. All we needed to do as a team is work together and try to get at least one of us to win the championship. This is going to be our first run of qualifying. Hopefully we can put it somewhere near the front. And there we go. P1 so far, provisional pole. But as time goes on, Piastri currently does have provisional pole. Hamilton is way down the order in 10th position. Right, so here we go for our final run. We can't bottle this championship. Alonso's got provisional pole. I don't know where that's come from. Here we come into the final corner. Lost a bit of time there. We're about 2.5 tenths up. And we've managed to got pole position in the final race when it really matters. This is it, coming to the 5 red lights. We're starting on pole, and we hang it around the outside, going into turn 1, yes we do. But Alonso's still there on the inside. He's actually going to try and go for the lead of the race. As we go down into this left-hander, Alonso's still got the inside. He's not giving up straight away. Gonna have to be a bit tentative. Squeezed it up the inside. That really wasn't good. I really didn't want damage there. If Alonso still wins it, we can still win the championship because Piastri won't have enough points. But Piastri is going for the lead. Whoa, leave us the room. No. Alonso's basically doing to us what the Renaults did to him back in 2010, if anyone remembers that. Safety car. Oh, and it looks like it's down to the other Aston Martin driver. Looks like they're both coming in. We're going to pit as well. Let's hope we don't get held up in the pits. Oh, we're getting held up. No, no, you've got to be joking. You have got to be joking. Let me out. Come on. Why is it not letting me out? What the hell just happened there? Fortunately, it's not as bad as it looked initially. We are down in 7th. But there it is. Safety car's coming in. Hadjar's now going back for the move on Russell. We somewhat sneak through. Russell's got him back. Yes, we scared Hadjar a bit there. We're up into P6. I'm going to have to go for the move on Russell. Pretty late. Come on, we've got a great exit there on Behrman. That should be easy enough. We should be able to get into P4. Here we go. We're in the DRS and slipstream of Alonso. We're not really gaining though. We're going to have to go for the dive bomb. Here we come on, Sainz. Let's try out brake him. Hang it around the outside if we can. Now time to chase down Piastri, but he is 4 seconds up the road. Right, we're coming on to the final lap now, and this gap has just extended to Piastri, unfortunately. But here we are, as we come through the final corner. Piastri has won the race. We're going to cross the line in second.
It might have looked simple at times, but as any racing driver will tell you, competing at this level at the very top is anything but simple.
But there it was for season 2. Heartbreak for the drivers. But to take some positives, we did win the constructors for a second year in a row. But to fully get Ferrari back and what people care about, we need to win the Drivers' Championship. For the start of season 3 and our final attempt to fully bring the glory days back to Ferrari, and for this season we did decide to choose the balancing out the field scenario, which will make the team at the top remove one upgrade each weekend until they are not, which will hopefully bring the racing a lot closer. But this season as well, we did have a minor regulation change, but didn't actually hurt us that bad and was still in second. We also had some pretty big news with Lance Stroll being let go at Aston Martin, sending shockwaves through the sport, with Paul Aron replacing him. But for the season itself, it was really successful for both us and the team. We gathered 3 wins in a row at the start of the season, really dominating despite the performance charts being super close thanks to the R&D scenario, which basically put all teams on a very similar pace level by round 7, with even Albon getting a win at Hungary. But despite our success and 4 wins, including Silverstone, the championship gap wasn't as big as I thought, with Lando also being very consistent this season, getting a lot of podiums, and both of us having a stinker at Hungary. But as we approached round 8 of Zandvoort, the gap was only 29 points, with Leclerc leading, followed closely by Norris and Hamilton not too far behind. Fortunately, we had a healthy gap in the constructors going into our home race for Monza. There we go, it's super close qualifying. We're all within about 0.3 of a second, the top 4 here. And what's this? Where's this come from? It's raining. What? I didn't see that on the radar. There it is. Yeah, we do start P3, unfortunately, because of the rain in the end. Here we go. 5 red lights. Get off to a good start. Hamilton's got off to a great start. He's already overtaken us going down into turn 1. We're going to brake a little bit early. And there we go. We come out the first couple of corners. Unfortunately, we have lost the position to Hamilton. Hamilton's going for the move. And he manages to make it stick. Piastri's going for the move back, though. Coming down into turn 1. It's going to be super close between these two. Can we sneak through? No, we can't. Get into the slipstream. Whoa. We're going to get through both of them coming down into turn 1. Let's chase down Lando. Right, we've taken 5/10 out of him. Whilst we are closing up to Lando, Piastri is closing up to us. Here comes Piastri. He's super close this lap. I don't think there's much defending we can do. I think it's probably best to try use the slipstream from him. Right, it's time to pit. Piastri's staying out. Norris is also coming in. Can we slow him down as we approach? Yes, we can. Alright, we'll come out of the pits. Hamilton is coming down the start-finish straight there. Oh, we've actually come out in front of Piastri there. I think Hamilton's going to do the same. I think he's just stayed out a little bit too long, Piastri, on them tyres, and he's dropped behind Hamilton as well. And safety car's out. It looks like that Alpine's lost its wheel as it's trying to go 3 wide and just runs into the back of the Williams there. That safety car's coming in this lap. We just got to give it a go on the restart. I think it's going to be our best chance to overtake Norris. And he's gone. He hasn't gone too much. Seems to be still harvesting as we cross the line. We've managed to take the lead. We've just about managed to hang on to first position, but he is coming back at this point. It's going to be very quick. Whoa, we've lost the back end. No, 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 get it out of the wall. No! You've got to be joking. On the last couple of laps as well, we were leading the race. I think we just took a little bit too much curb there. You've got to be joking. And Lando Norris has managed to win the race there. And if we look at the standings, he's reduced that 29-point gap down to 4 points now. Fortunately, after Monza, we did have a great recovery in Mexico after the field now was super close. We took pole position whilst both McLarens were way off the pace and down the order. We eventually did finish second behind Albon for the race, whilst Lando took 0 points, meaning coming into Abu Dhabi, we were leading the Drivers' Championship by 22 points, and all we needed to do was finish 8th or above if Lando was to win. Time to give it our last effort. Well, that hasn't been too bad so far, but the whole field is super close in performance now. But here we come through the final corner to finish our first lap, and we're on provisional pole. So coming a bit later on, we are still on provisional pole. Lando Norris is in second, very close behind us, but that was a very promising first lap. But here we come for round 2. Let's put it all together. Okay, this lap has been a bit of a disaster. We're 3 tenths down. But as we come through the final corner, we're gonna not improve, but I think it's still pole position. And there we go, we do line up on pole just by 100th of a second over Russell. Lando is down in 4th. Looks like Lando is trying to go for something special there on the soft tyres. But here we come for the final 5 red lights of rebuilding Ferrari. We are at Abu Dhabi, the final race of this career mode, and we get off to an okay start. Russell has had a pretty decent start up our inside, and he is going to take the lead going into turn 1. Norris has managed to get up to P3.
Let me smell your breath.
He's going to go for it. We're going to brake very late though, go a bit too deep. But here he comes once again. And yeah, there's no stopping Norris there. Right, we've got the DRS back on Lando, but here we come. We're going to go defensive, we're going to go to the right. And lovely stuff, we take back P2. Way too deep in the final corner. Norris is still on the back of us. Got the DRS back though, should be an easy move once again. And there we go, Lando's gone in for his pit stop. There's Albon. Oh, there's a yellow. Is that George? Oh, it's George! No! We've broken our front wing. Red flag, red flag. I think we just got away with one. I'm hoping our front wing is going to be fixed. And there we go, yeah, it is fixed. We got lucky there. And I think Norris is actually down the order here. And I think we've gotten very fortunate there. Right, we've got the DRS on Albon. He's going to go defensive. We're going to go to the right. Coming out, break him here. We're going to go very deep. Just about make the corner. We take P1 in this race. Here we are now on the final lap of the final race. It's been quite the journey of trying to rebuild Ferrari back to the old glory days. But as we come through the final 2 corners, we're going to come through the final corner and we are going to cross the line to become a world champion for Ferrari. And there we go, Charles Leclerc is now a world champion with Scuderia Ferrari, and I think our rebuild is finished.